Cindrella. Once upon a time, a beautiful girl named Cinderella lived with her cruel stepmother and stepsisters. They treated Cinderella like a servant. One day, the king of their country arranged a party. When the stepsisters wore their most beautiful gowns, Cinderella asked, "But what shall I wear?" Both her stepsisters stared at Cinderella. "You are not coming," they said rudely. Poor Cinderella was left behind, sad and lonely. She wept as she thought of missing the wonderful ball. Suddenly, there was a flash of light. An old woman appeared in front of her. "Who are you?" asked Cinderella. "I'm your fairy godmother," she replied. The fairy made a golden coach out of a pumpkin. She waved her wand, and Cinderella was dressed in a beautiful gown. She also had a pair of glass slippers. "Go to the palace, but you must return by midnight, as my spell ends then," the fairy ordered. Cinderella thanked the fairy and drove off to the palace. When she arrived at the palace, everyone stopped dancing and stared at the beautiful girl. The prince fell in love with her straight away and danced every dance with her. Cinderella was so happy, but soon she realized it is almost midnight. Cinderella fled from the palace, leaving one of her slippers behind. As the clock struck 12, she was changed back to her old shabby self. The prince was sad about the beautiful princess who had vanished from his sight. The king ordered, "Whosoever the slipper fitted will be the princess' bride." The slipper was carried to every house in the town, but it fitted no one. At last, the royal guards reached the house where Cinderella lived. Cinderella's stepsisters were very excited, but the slipper didn't fit both of them. Then Cinderella came forward and asked if she might try it on. The stepmother scolded her. The royal guard said, "Every young lady must try it on." Cinderella put out her dainty foot. The slipper fitted perfectly. Cinderella then took out the matching slipper from her pocket. The prince married Cinderella and they lived happily ever after.